Okay, guys, get your name on this. I will stamp it. This will eventually get into our spiral. In order for you to truly understand how to give the conclusion and justify, give the statement, the reason for it, this weekend, where is it at? Right here. Okay, let me go back. Before, on Friday, I know we were only in here for about like 25 minutes or 30, but you got this worksheet, and I should go ahead and paste into your spiral. And then I needed you to complete the notes off of Edmodo. Right here on this page was just the back page of the notes, were the ways to prove lines are parallel. You got this page on Friday. There was 2 sheets you picked up on Friday. This was one of them. The other one was your homework, which was this page. I had you fold the other one and put it into your spiral. And I told you to write homework on this worksheet. So this is the one you picked up on Friday. It was up, this right here, all of this was up here, and I asked you to fill it in, and I also said it was on Edmodo. Okay. On the other page where the back of the graphic organizer is, are these ways to prove lines are parallel. You need to memorize these. You need these for your notes, and you need this for your drawing conclusion activity. So I'll address this later. We're going straight into your warm-up, which I'm going to check, which is, I did the first 3. We're going to recap some things real quick. You might want to write this down at the bottom or on the side, but when we prove lines are parallel, we have a statement, a conditional, that says if P then Q, meaning if is what's given. So if given, if you're given parallel lines, that's your symbol for parallel lines, then you would conclude the following: congruent or supplementary. You have to know which angles are congruent and which angles are supplementary. That's all on that notes page from Friday. It's also on the 3-1 notes that we did at the beginning, or on Wednesday. Now, recap, just a review. What is it called when we go Q to P? Converse. Converse. Okay, so this first one is our conditional. You're going to use the converse to prove lines are parallel. Meaning, I'm going to take this, what I have up here, I'm still going to switch it. So, if given congruent or supplementary, then I can prove what? Yeah, then I can prove parallel, okay? So everything is based on what's given to help you draw your conclusion of what, and then if you're proving parallel, you're using a converse to draw that conclusion. If you're proving congruent or supplementary, you're using the conditional, using a theorem. So on the first 3 I did for you, because they state that S is parallel to T. I can add the arrows to show that. Then from that given statement, I want you to be able to draw a conclusion from the angles. Pay attention. So I'm hoping you see they're going to number maybe 2 angles or 3 angles. But right now, if I look at 5 and 6, okay, what is 5 and 6 relationship whenever lines are parallel? They are congruent. What type of angles are 5 and 6? Alternate exterior. So the conclusion I could draw when they came down here is saying angle 5 is congruent to angle 6. Why? Because their alternate exterior angles theorem states that they would be congruent when lines are parallel. On number 2, I know there's 4 set of lines, but you're only using A parallel to B. The angles that they want you to look at are 2 and 3. What's the transversal for 2 and 3? What line is the transversal for angles 2 and 3? D, yes, D is your transversal. That's the transversal. Just to recap, guys, the key to this is being able to recognize the transversal. Right, so what do we know? What type of angles are formed with that transversal for 2 and 3? Yep, alternate interior. So you should be getting in the habit of naming the type of angles formed by the transversal. Same thing here. Now, they don't tell me anything about this diagram. All I know is I got 3 lines intersecting. I don't know if A or B are parallel, but I do know C is still a transversal because a transversal intersects a line or 2 more lines at different points. And it intersects here and there. So only conclusion I can make is 2 is congruent to 1 using vertical angle theorem. Now, on number 4, what is given? What do you start off with? Yeah, this is what's given. 3 and 4 are supplementary. So if I go back right here, if it's given that it's congruent or supplementary, then I need to draw a conclusion about parallel. So if I'm looking at 3 and 4 being supplementary, which lines would have to be parallel so that 3 and 4 would be supplementary? Yes, K, because supplementary happens with same side interior or same side exterior. So if 3 and 4 is supplementary, that means this line P would be the transversal, and K and M would be parallel. So my conclusion is K is parallel to M because I'm going from the given supplementary to parallel. I'm doing this here. I'm doing a converse. I'm going from Q to P. So this would be the converse of same side interior theorem. The converse of same side interior theorem. So on number 5, what is given? Where do we start? Okay, so we're starting with parallel. So that's over here. So if it's parallel, we're trying to draw a conclusion about either congruent or supplementary. So looking at the lines that are parallel, do we have any congruent or supplementary angles? It might help if you extend the lines. Here's the line, here's the line. There's 3 angles, 1, 2, and 3. Who's congruent? 2 and who? 2 and 1 would be congruent if those lines are parallel. So angle 1 is congruent to angle 2. What's our justification, our reason for that? Alternate interior angle theorem. Okay? Alternate interior angle theorem. So now on 6, they're giving me that 3 is congruent to 4. Is this, so what are we going to have to draw a conclusion now that I have congruent angles? Parallel, that's right. So you're given congruent or supplementary. I'm trying to draw the conclusion of parallel. For them to be congruent, which lines would have to be parallel? D is parallel to C. That is correct. So now that I'm proving parallel, what do I need to state in this box? It has to be a converse, okay? Whenever we're proving parallel, it's a converse. Converse of what theorem? What do you think? Yeah, 3 and 4 are corresponding angles, so we do the converse of corresponding angles postulate. I ran out of, I stopped. Okay. All right, so you need to finish this. I'm going to come by and stamp. I'm going to give you some time. You need to finish, and I'm going to come by and stamp. Yes, now you can. Huh? You do the remaining problems. My thing is, what numbers is that? 7 through 12. Just that side. 7 through 12. All Alright, you will be asked to do this on part of your quiz tomorrow, justifying your answers. So, if 2 and 3 are congruent, then G and H are parallel using the converse of the alternate exterior angle theorem. 8, if I tell you they're parallel, the only two I can use are 2 and 5 because 5 and 3 have different transversals. 9, we should use corresponding angles. 4 and 5 are corresponding. They're both on the same side of the transversal and below the lines in the same position. 10, if I tell you 2 and 3 are congruent, then you should have that C and D are parallel using the converse of corresponding angles postulate. Now I'm telling you that they're congruent. The lines ET are congruent to XY. So the conclusion I can make is 3 is congruent to 4 using alternate interior angle theorem. When lines are parallel, the alternate interior angles are congruent. And then if I tell you 1 and 4 are supplementary, then we should be stating that A is parallel to B using the converse of same side interior theorem. Same side interior angles are supplementary. Do you have any questions on that? Okay, so I need you to, oh, this is in the wrong order. Let me fix this. All right, this page goes there. This page goes there. All right, so on this side, real quick, I'm going to check off your understanding of angle types formed by transversal and how to problem solve them. So this is on the other side, correct? Okay, now it says at the very top that you're going to have to determine the values of x and y to make the lines appear parallel. So which lines are we going to use as parallel in our diagram? Yeah. Huh? It's not a T on the paper. All right, there's two things I'm going to check on this page. I am stamping this page. You will need to write a system to solve for x and y, okay? So you will write a system of equations to solve for x and y. I ran out of room. Now, your system is going to be based on the given. So on number 1, what angles are they giving you to start with? 9, 7, 11. Okay, so I'm just going to focus on that. Here's 9. Here's 7. Here's 11. Anything we know about those 3 angles? 9 is congruent to who? Yes. Okay, so how do we know that? They're vertical. Okay, so we're going to write 9 is equal to 11 because they are vertical. Write that down. Come on, guys. Focus. All right, what else do you know about those 3 angles? Because whenever we're trying to show a relationship, we need a pair. Right? Yeah, 9 and 7 are alternate interior. So 9 is also equal to 7 because they're exterior. Okay. Now, we know that 9 is going to be my 115, right? We're going to have to write a system to solve for x and y. So that means, I'm just going to scroll up a little bit. 115, I'm just going to substitute the parts here. 9 and 11, right? 115 equals 3x minus 2y. Are we good on that part, what I just did? All right, now I'm going to go to my next statement that you told me, alternate exterior angles, okay? So now we're looking at 9 and 7. We already know 9 is 115. 7 is x plus y. Do you have this written down? Okay, so I'm going to box this because this right here you must give. This is the first thing I'm going to check. This is your system of equations. Okay, that's your system of equations that you have, yes? Yeah. Okay, now, how do we solve a system of equations? Elimination would be the fastest way. Do we have any terms that can be eliminated? What's it? Get that out at your ear. Who else have earbuds? D? Mm-hmm. I have to multiply the bottom. You're right. Multiply the bottom by what? By, I would just do it by 2. Because now my y's would eliminate. So 2 times 115 would give me 230 equals 2x plus 2y. Okay? Now my y terms can be eliminated. So I can eliminate them by adding them together. I add my 115 and my 230. That would give me 345 equals 3x and 2x, 5x. Are we good on that part? Now we got to solve for x. How do we do that? Yeah, divide by 5. Okay. X is going to equal, yeah. So I'm going to scroll up a little bit. Our x value. Are we done after x? No. Now what do? Plug it in for y. So right there, or plug it in to solve for y. 69 plus what is 115? Because that's my easiest equation to do. Or 115 minus 69. What is the y going to be? Yeah. Okay. So our answer, our solution. Now, we're going to work smart, not overwork here. Okay. So let's look at number 2. Same diagram. Same diagram. What, I'm going to erase this because the angle measures are changing every time. The only thing that's not changing is the lines are parallel. What angles are they telling us to focus on number 2? 5, 7, and 11. So let's look at that. Here's 5, here's 7, here's 11. Okay, what's the relationship between those? 5 and 7 are vertical, so angle 5 equals angle 7 because they're vertical. And 7 and 11 are corresponding. You're right. 7 and 11 are corresponding. So I can use 7 is equal to 11 using corresponding angles are congruent because the lines are parallel. All right, so now let's do our substitution. Let's see if we have a system. I know angle 5 is 50. 7 is 3x minus y. 7 over here is 3x minus y. Oops. That's angle 7, 3x minus y. And angle 11 is 2x plus 3y minus 9. All right, do I have a system? Technically, yes. Is it in standard form? No. Okay. You have to have your x and y terms on one side of the equal sign and your constant, your numbers on the other side of the equal sign. Can maybe I rewrite this or change this? What can I do? Give me something. How do you want to rewrite it? Because there's 2 ways. There's not just one way every time. 11 and 5 are what? 11 and 5 are also alternate interior angles. Yes. 11 and 5 are also alternate interior angles. So if I know that 5 is 50, then I know 11 is also 50, right? And 7 is 50, but we're trying to solve for x and y, so we have to write a system to solve for x and y. So how could I change maybe this system here? Huh? Yeah, I already, since I know these are the same, I can now change this to just 50 equals 2x plus 3y minus 9. Okay, is my red equation in standard form? What do I need to do to change it so it's in standard form? Add the 9. So you are going to at times have to simplify and make sure it's in standard form. Okay? So, here's my system. I'm going to go ahead and just simplify this one. This is 59 equals 2x plus 3y. My equation that I had earlier, this one right here, I'm just going to bring it down. 50 equals 3x minus y. I'm going to box my system that I wrote. That's in standard form. Do we remember our shortcut? Calculator? Yes. Okay. You remember how to do that? So the key to this is I must have you write it in standard form, and then you can type it into your calculator. Do I need to go through those keystrokes again? Home menu, new documents. I don't want to save that. We're going to delete that. Add a calculator. Menu gives me my algebra options. 2 allows me to solve a system. I always say okay, because it's always going to be 2 equations. And now we're typing in our system. So one of our systems was 59 equals, what was it? Was it 2x? Yeah, 2x plus y plus 3y. And then our other equation, 50 equals, our equal sign is below the control button. We're here by 7. 50 equals 3x minus y, right? All right, and then we just hit enter, and there's our solution. Okay, so what I'm going to stamp at this time, everyone's getting checked, this is part of your daily check for today, is that you pick an option, okay? You pick which one, which problem you want to do. It's the same picture. You can choose from 3 or 4, but you have to show the system and the solution for one of the 2 problems. Does anyone have any questions? Just one. You just need one for the stamp. Once you have it stamped, you need to fold it and then put it into your spiral.